Order, order! Well, I just want to welcome everybody in this half of the room and the whole pub to the first meeting. Quiet! We're making speeches. Right. Just want to welcome everybody to the first meeting of Concerned Residents UK. And you probably wonder what the heck is Concerned Residents UK? Well, it's a brainchild of a little group that was set up a couple of months ago to try and breathe life into the movement that started in 2017. And what we want to do is we want to get back to that spirit of 2017. So in 2017, a movement started. It was made of veterans and football lads. In Park Lane in October 2017, we had 70,000 people standing up for the little children that have been murdered in that heinous terrorist attack in the Ariana Grande concert. Now, where are those 70,000 people here now? And I want to thank every single one of you that's come today, and give yourself a round of applause for coming. But where's that 70,000 gone? And that's what we want to find out, and that's what we want to breathe life back into. But we want to broaden it as well. And the reason we've called it Concerned Parents is, I would say everybody in here is a parent, and every single one of us is really concerned about what's happening to our kids. And when I talk about kids, I'm not talking about just kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5 year old. I'm talking about kids that maybe 30 and 40 years old that are struggling with all sorts of stuff. And we want to help them. And we want to get this group together to help children, our grandchildren, and to build a better future and a better country, and a country that every single one of us wants to live in and will prosper and will last for another 1,000 years. So that's what Concerned Parents is about. In terms of where we got so far, we've got the website built, we've got a mission statement built, which I can hand out later on, or get you on social media or on email. So we've done a lot of the groundwork, a lot of the building blocks are in place. But without you guys, it doesn't happen. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. The football lads, the veterans, they're the backbone of this country. Good, working class people from all racial backgrounds, all creeds, all colours, and that's the sort of people that we want in this movement. The people that built this country, whose parents and grandparents stormed the beaches in Normandy, fought in the Battle of the Somme. You think about the Battle of the Somme, and how many of our great-great-grandparents died. You think about Normandy, you think about Dunkirk, and that inheritance has been squandered by corrupt politicians, by a middle-class media that despises us. There's a bigotry in this country, and it's not based on colour. There's a bigotry in this country from the elite, the liberal elite, that rule us, that rub our noses in their agendas, and I'm telling you now, they despise us with a passion. They think we're children, they think that we're not responsible enough to run this country, and I want to tell you something now, we've got to get rid of them. That liberal elite has to go. And we wonder why we've got the beaches of the south coast of England getting stormed by people who have no right to be here. Everybody that comes onto those beaches in the south of England has absolutely no right to be in this country. They're coming here illegally. We don't know who they are. We don't know what the backgrounds are. We don't know what their intentions are. And the government doesn't care. They pay lip service to it, but they don't care. But you know what? The people in this room care, right? Yous care. And we... Exactly. And when we think about the grooming scandal, I spent 2 years with other people in this room and other people in our group working on the Rape of Britain documentaries, where we went to Telford and spoke to young girls who could be my daughter, could be your daughter, and the torment that those girls have been through. I can hardly speak about what those girls told us in those meetings. Some of them have been raped hundreds of times by these monsters. And the thing about it was, nobody cared and nobody did anything about it. They didn't care. Nobody cared. And let's be honest, all of us failed those kids. Because when grooming happens, action needs to be taken. It's as simple as that. Action needs to be taken. And if the government doesn't take it and the police doesn't take it, then other people need to take action and sort that out. And then we think about what's happening in the Honour Oak pub in London, and many of you guys have been to those demonstrations at the Honour Oak. And again, this is why we're called concerned parents. Little children being exposed to sexualisation. I don't want a drag queen reading a story to my granddaughter, and none of you do either. That's got to stop. And you know what? We're going to stop it. We're going to put an end to what's happening in Honour Oak.
A High Court judge said what they're reading to them children is pornography.
Fucking freak show.
Exactly. So these are concerns, along with many, many other concerns. Like I said at the very beginning, we talked about terrorism, we talked about what happened at the Ariana Grande concert, but there's other things as well. There's other contentions that are basically affecting the country. We think about the appalling knife crime among the black community. Black kids getting stabbed, getting involved in gangs, getting involved in county lines, getting involved in drugs. We've got to stick up for those kids as well, not just white kids. We've got to stick up for every single child. But we've also got to acknowledge that this elite that despises us is deliberately trying to divide us. You understand that? They want people at each other's throats. They want black against white. They want Muslim against Christian. They want Muslim against Jew. That is what the elites want. They want to divide us because if they think they divide us, they think they control us. We've got to come together in unity, and we've got to fight this together and fight against these people that are trying to destroy our country. And I also want to talk very quickly, and it does affect the children. If the Labour Party get elected, and it's looking very, very highly likely that the Labour Party will get elected at the next election, that will be a disaster for this country. It will be an absolute catastrophe. Now, the people in this room, we can actually stop that happening by voting for parties that aren't the Labour Party. That's one thing we can do. But as well as that, we've got to realise if the Labour Party get in, they are going to push back against Brexit. Brexit hasn't been done. The Conservative parties have failed. I would say every single one of us voted for Brexit, and you were right to vote for Brexit, and if it happened again tomorrow, I'd vote for Brexit again. We need to see it delivered, and we need to see it delivered properly. So anyway, how do we go about all this? This is one group, small group. What is the 50, 60 people in this room, and every one of you that's come here today. Do you know what? It fills my heart with pride because some of you have travelled from all over the country. Some of you have come hundreds of miles to sit in this room and hear us talk about a brand new movement and a brand new organisation. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. But what can we do to make a difference? Well, there's a few things I suggest, and Kyle's hopefully going to touch on this a little bit more in a minute. We need to get involved in direct activism. And if that means that we start picketing migrant hotels where there's illegal migrants, then we do it. If that means where there's an explosion in sexual assaults on children, that we stand against that and we go out into the streets and we have our own citizens patrols, we do it. If that means we get organised politically, we do it. There's a lot that we can do, and we need to work smart and not hard. And for a lot of years, we've all worked really, really hard, but we haven't worked smart. And that's what I want to encourage everyone to do. I've got some plans. We've got the websites built. I've got some plans of how we can actually politicise this without becoming a political party. What we want is a movement that every right-thinking person in this country can join, from whatever background they are, and they can join and they can start to build this country and make this country great again. Like Trump always said, make America great again. Well, this country is called Great Britain, but it's not very great at the moment. It's in a lot of trouble, and we need to change that. And the people in this room have the ability to do it. Thank you very much.